CNN, a 17-year-old male student shot two other students at Great Mills High School in Maryland on Tuesday morning before a school resource officer engaged him and stopped the threat, according to St. Mary's County Sheriff Tim Cameron. The incident began in a school hallway at 7:55 a.m., just before classes started. Authorities say Austin Wyatt Rollins, armed with a handgun, shot a female and a male student. The shooter had a prior relationship with the female student, Cameron said. School resource officer Blaine Gaskell responded to the scene in less than a minute, the sheriff said. Gaskell fired a round at the shooter, and the shooter fired a round simultaneously, Cameron said. Rollins was later pronounced dead. Gaskell was unharmed. The 16-year-old female student is in critical condition with life-threatening injuries, and the 14-year-old male student who was shot is in stable condition. Cameron said he was not sure if Gaskell's bullet hit the suspect, but he praised the officer's quick response to the situation. He responded exactly as we train our personnel to respond, he said. It's the 17th school shooting in the United States since January 1st. This is what we train for, this is what we prepare for, and this is what we pray that we never have to do. On this day, we realized our worst nightmare, Cameron said. The notion of "it can't happen here" is no longer a notion. The school was on lockdown for a brief time, and students were evacuated from Great Mills, a high school, to a reunification center at a nearby high school, the school system said. Jonathan Fries, a student at Great Mills, called CNN from his cell phone during the lockdown in his math class. Police were going through classrooms to clear the school, Fries said. I'm still a little shaken up, he said. Fries said the school had held drills a couple of times for this kind of situation. I didn't really expect for this to happen. I do always feel safe, though, because they always have police at the school, he said. A spokesman for the FBI's Baltimore field office said its agents are on the scene of the incident. Special agents from the ATF's Baltimore office are also at the school, that office tweeted. Great Mills High School is in Great Mills, Maryland, about 70 miles southeast of Washington. It has more than 1,500 students, about 56% of them minority students, and its four-year graduation rate is 91%, according to the school's 2015-16 improvement plan. Al Murray shot video of police responding to the shooting at the high school Tuesday. Says he saw at least one officer run into the building with a shotgun or rifle. 17th school shooting this year according to CNN's research. There have been 16 confirmed school shootings this year in the United States before Tuesday. Last week, students at Great Mills High School walked out of class as part of a student-led protest against school violence in the wake of the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Several students from Stoneman Douglas tweeted about the Great Mills school shooting on Tuesday, offering their thoughts and calling for an end to gun violence in schools. The word "school" headlines like this should not have to be typed up every week. All of these incidents have one thing in common. My thoughts are with Maryland right now, tweeted student activist Adam Alhan T. Other Stoneman Douglas students contrasted the Maryland school resource officer's quick response with the Stoneman Douglas officer's decision not to enter the school and engage the shooter. At least someone is doing their job, Stoneman Douglas student Tansil Phillip said. I feel like if our school resource officer would have went in the building, the overall result would have been less bad. It makes me feel angry that the protocols were not effective in our situation, said Demetri Hoth, another Stoneman Douglas student. Maryland Gov. Larry Hogan said the shooting was a call to action to address school safety. Although our pain remains fresh and the facts remain uncertain, today's horrible events should not be an excuse to pause our conversation about school safety. Instead, it must serve as a call to action, he said in a statement. Speaking to reporters on Tuesday, President Donald Trump called the shooting a terrible thing. CNN's David Williams, Karma Hassan, Diane Gallagher, Brian Todd, Dan Merica, Michael Nettleman, David Shortell and Holly Yarn contributed to this report.